The desert shimmered with heat. The late afternoon sun casting long shadows across the scrubland of New Mexico. A distant, distorted sound, like metal tearing, echoed through the otherwise silent landscape. It was Agent Maria Rodriguez who first pinpointed the anomaly. Her training, honed over years of tracking unusual atmospheric disturbances for a clandestine branch of the government, screamed at her. This wasn't a weather balloon, a military exercise, or any known terrestrial phenomenon. The air crackled with an unseen energy, a palpable sense of the unknown. The sight was a chaotic mess of twisted metal, scorched earth, and an acrid, unfamiliar smell that stung the nostrils and tasted of ozone and something else, something metallic and faintly sweet. The object, or what was left of it, resembled a flattened disk, half buried in a shallow crater. It was clearly not of this world. The edges of the craft glowed with residual heat, distorting the air around them. Fine, hair-like fibers, unlike anything found on Earth, were scattered around the wreckage, shimmering with an iridescent sheen. The initial perimeter was established quickly. Personnel in full hazmat suits, moving with a tense, deliberate efficiency. Geiger counters clicked erratically, detecting unusual radiation levels. Drones buzzed overhead, mapping the site and analyzing the debris. Dr. Aris Thorne, a renowned astrophysicist pulled from his university lab, felt a mixture of dread and exhilaration, a sense of awe so profound it bordered on religious ecstasy. This was it, the moment humanity had simultaneously craved and feared, the moment that would redefine their place in the cosmos. He ran a gloved hand over a piece of the alien metal, its surface smooth and cool to the touch, yet possessing an alien texture that defied description. Inside the wreckage, partially shielded by a section of the hull that had miraculously remained intact, was the body. It was small, fragile-looking, almost childlike in its proportions. The head was disproportionately large, bulbous, with two large dark eyes that were now dull and lifeless, like polished obsidian. The skin was a pale, almost translucent grey, stretched taut over delicate limbs, revealing a network of fine blue veins beneath the surface. There were no external ears, only small slits on the sides of the head, positioned symmetrically. The mouth was a thin, almost vestigial line, closed tightly. No discernible nose, only two small orifices above the mouth, their function unclear. The chest cavity was small, and the limbs were long and slender, ending in three-fingered hands with elongated digits, each tipped with a small, retractable claw. The feet had a similar three-toed structure. The recovery operation was swift and meticulous, driven by the urgency of the unknown. The body was placed in a specialized, climate-controlled container, lined with a cushioning gel that conformed to its delicate form. The container was constructed of a transparent, yet incredibly strong, material, allowing for constant monitoring. It was transported under heavy guard in a convoy of armored vehicles, escorted by black helicopters to a secure underground facility, a labyrinth of sterile labs and heavily shielded chambers. This was Site chimera, a place that officially didn't exist, a place whispered about in hushed tones in the corridors of power. The facility was built deep beneath the desert floor, shielded from prying eyes and potential threats, a modern-day vault for secrets too profound for the outside world. Dr. Lena Hansen, a brilliant anatomist with a reputation for unconventional methods and an almost fanatical dedication to her work, was chosen to lead the anatomical study. She felt the weight of history pressing down on her as she entered the examination room. The air was cold, sterile, and heavy with anticipation. The silence broken only by the hum of the life support systems. The alien body lay on a raised platform in the center of the room, bathed in the harsh, unforgiving light of surgical lamps. The light reflected off the smooth, metallic surfaces of the instruments laid out on a nearby table, instruments designed for a purpose no human had ever contemplated before. Initial scans show a carbon-based life form. Dr. Hansen announced to the assembled team, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. The team, a collection of the world's top scientists, held their breath, their faces a mixture of awe and trepidation. But the similarities end there. The internal structure is alien in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. The first incision was made with a diamond-edged scalpel, the blade so sharp it seemed to part the flesh at a molecular level. The skin yielded easily, revealing a complex network of organs, unlike anything seen on Earth. The circulatory system was a closed loop, but instead of blood, a viscous, greenish fluid flowed through a series of vessels that branched in intricate patterns, forming a delicate, tree-like structure. The fluid itself was a complex mixture of organic compounds, rich in energy and unlike any known terrestrial biochemistry. The heart, if it could be called that, was a multi-chambered organ that pulsed with a slow, rhythmic beat, its function more akin to a pump than a traditional heart. The respiratory system was equally bizarre. Instead of lungs, there were two spongy sacs filled with a network of fine tubules, resembling the gills of a fish more than the alveoli of a mammal. These sacs were connected to the external orifices by a series of cartilaginous rings, giving the creature a rigid, almost insect-like structure to its respiratory tract. The digestive system was a long, coiled tube with several specialized chambers, each containing a different type of enzyme, capable of breaking down a wide range of organic matter, including substances completely foreign to Earth's ecosystems. The musculoskeletal system was also radically different. The bones were lighter and more porous than human bones, composed of a complex matrix of minerals and organic fibers, making them both incredibly strong and remarkably light. The muscles were thin and striated, capable of rapid, precise movements, giving the alien a dexterity and agility that would have been the envy of any human athlete. The muscle fibers were arranged in a helical pattern, allowing for a greater range of motion and a more efficient use of energy. The most intriguing organ, however, was the brain. It was enormous relative to the size of the body and housed within a thick protective cranium composed of a material harder than any known metal. The brain was a labyrinth of folds and fissures, suggesting a level of complexity far beyond that of the human brain. Dr. Emily Carter, a neuroscientist specializing in artificial intelligence and renowned for her groundbreaking work in neural mapping, was brought in to analyze its structure and function. The neural density is off the charts. Doctor, Carter said, her voice filled with astonishment as she examined the incredibly detailed brain scans generated by machines that pushed the boundaries of current technology. The connections are incredibly complex, far beyond anything we've ever seen. It's like a supercomputer made of flesh and blood, or whatever the equivalent is in this being. Dr. Carter's team employed a revolutionary new technique, a combination of advanced neuroimaging, including functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, at resolutions never before achieved, and artificial intelligence to map the alien brain in unprecedented detail. They painstakingly traced the billions of neural pathways, creating a three-dimensional model of its intricate structure, a model so complex it resembled a miniature universe. The AI, nicknamed Odysseus, was a self-learning program designed to identify patterns and decode the complex electrical signals that pulsed through the alien brain. Odysseus was given access to the vast databases of human neuroscience, but it quickly surpassed its programming, developing an intuitive understanding of neural networks that bordered on sentience. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The team worked tirelessly, driven by a thirst for knowledge that bordered on obsession, fueled by caffeine and the sheer wonder of their discovery. They meticulously dissected, analyzed, and scanned every part of the alien body, pushing the limits of their scientific understanding. They studied its cells under electron microscopes, revealing structures that defied categorization. They analyzed its DNA, its proteins, its enzymes. They pored over the data, searching for clues, for answers to questions that had plagued humanity since the dawn of time. The alien DNA was a double helix, like Earth DNA, but the sequence was completely alien. It contained far more base pairs than human DNA, and many of the genes had no known counterparts on Earth, coding for proteins with entirely new functions. Yet, within the alien genome, there were familiar patterns, echoes of the fundamental building blocks of life. It was as if the alien DNA was a variation on a universal theme, a different dialect of the same genetic language, a testament to the common origin of all life in the universe. As the anatomical study progressed, the team began to piece together the alien's physiology, reconstructing its life history from the fragments of its biology. The creature was adapted to a low-gravity environment, its light frame and powerful muscles, allowing it to move with agility and speed, perhaps even to navigate in 3 dimensions with ease. Its large eyes and complex visual cortex suggested it was a highly visual creature, perhaps adapted to seeing in a wider range of the electromagnetic spectrum than humans, perceiving colors and patterns invisible to the human eye. Its digestive system indicated it was an omnivore, capable of processing a wide variety of organic matter, perhaps even extracting nutrients from substances that would be toxic to humans. The breakthrough came when Dr. Carter's AI, Odysseus, began to decode the alien brain's electrical activity. It was like listening to a symphony of unimaginable complexity, a torrent of information flowing through a network of neurons that made the human brain seem primitive by comparison. Odysseus identified patterns, rhythms, and structures within the noise, teasing out meaning from the chaos. It began to translate the alien brain's activity into a language that humans could understand, a language of images, emotions, and concepts. The first coherent signal was a series of images projected directly into the minds of the researchers, bypassing the need for verbal communication. They saw swirling nebulae, distant galaxies, and strange alien landscapes, breathtaking in their beauty and utterly unfamiliar. They saw the aliens' homeworld, a planet bathed in the light of two suns, casting long, dramatic shadows across a landscape of towering mountains and vast oceans. They saw the aliens' life, its birth, its growth, its experiences, its hopes, its dreams, its fears. The scientists were witnessing the history of an alien civilization, a civilization that had risen and fallen on a world far, far away. They learned of their technology, their art, their philosophy, their understanding of the universe. They learned of their triumphs and their failures, their hopes and their fears, their struggle for survival. They saw the aliens' perspective on the cosmos, a perspective shaped by billions of years of evolution on a world utterly different from Earth. But the most profound revelation came when Odysseus began to decode the deeper structures of the alien brain, the parts that held the secrets of consciousness and existence, the seat of the alien soul. The AI uncovered a fundamental truth about the universe, a truth that had eluded humanity for millennia, a truth that would shake the foundations of their understanding of reality. The universe, they learned, was not a random collection of matter and energy, a cold, indifferent void. It was a vast, interconnected web of information, a cosmic network of cause and effect, where every particle, every wave, every event was linked to every other. And at the heart of this network, the code that bound it all together was DNA. DNA, it turned out, was not just the blueprint of life on Earth. It was the language of the universe, the code that governed the evolution of all living things, from the simplest bacteria to the most complex civilization. It was the driving force behind the intricate dance of ecosystems, the architect of the grand design of the cosmos, the silent ruler of the universe. The alien's DNA contained within it a record of its entire evolutionary history, a history that spanned billions of years and countless generations. It held the secrets of its species' adaptation to its environment, its development of intelligence, its mastery of technology, its exploration of the stars, and it held the key to understanding the fundamental principles of biology, principles that transcended the boundaries of a single planet. The scientists realized that DNA was not merely a passive molecule, a set of instructions. It was an active agent, a dynamic force that shaped the course of evolution, driving life towards greater complexity and diversity. It was a self-replicating, self-organizing system that sought to perpetuate itself, to spread its information throughout the universe, to fulfill some unknown cosmic imperative. The ecosystems, they learned, were not just random collections of organisms. They were complex, self-regulating systems designed to maximize the flow of energy and information, to create a delicate balance of competition and cooperation that ensured the survival and propagation of life. Each species, each organism played a role in this grand design, a role dictated by its DNA, a role in a symphony of life that spanned entire galaxies. The alien's brain, they discovered, was a microcosm of the universe itself, a complex network of information processing that mirrored the cosmic web. Consciousness, they realized, was not a unique property of humans or even of intelligent life. It was a fundamental aspect of the universe, a manifestation of the flow of information through complex systems, a byproduct of the inherent drive of DNA to understand and control its environment. The scientists were humbled, awestruck by the sheer scale of what they had discovered. They had glimpsed the inner workings of the universe, the secrets of life itself, and the grand, unifying principles that governed all existence. They had learned that they were not alone, that they were part of something vast and ancient, a cosmic drama that had been playing out for billions of years, a story written in the language of DNA. The implications of their discovery were staggering, almost too much to comprehend. It meant that life was not a rare accident, a fluke of chemistry, a whisper in the cosmic wind. It was a fundamental property of the universe, a natural consequence of the laws of physics and the flow of information, an inevitable outcome of the inherent properties of matter and energy. It meant that the universe was teeming with life in forms both familiar and unimaginable, a cacophony of biological diversity that dwarfed anything found on Earth. And it meant that humanity was not special, not unique, not the pinnacle of creation. They were just one small part of a vast, interconnected web of life, a web woven by the threads of DNA, a web that stretched across the cosmos. They were children of the universe, inheritors of a cosmic legacy that stretched back to the dawn of time, participants in a grand experiment that had been unfolding for eons. The scientists emerged from Chimera forever changed, their minds expanded beyond anything they had ever imagined, their understanding of reality shattered and rebuilt. They carried within them the secrets of the universe, the knowledge that would transform humanity's understanding of itself and its place in the cosmos. They knew that their discovery would have profound consequences, that it would challenge long-held beliefs and force humanity to confront its own insignificance in the face of the vastness of the universe. But they also knew that it was a gift of knowledge, a gift of understanding, a gift that came with a heavy responsibility, and they knew that it was their responsibility to share this gift with the world, to help humanity navigate the uncharted waters of a universe teeming with life, to prepare them for the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. The weight of this new understanding was immense, but it was a weight they were willing to carry. The future of humanity, and perhaps the future of life in the galaxy, depended on it. The journey had just begun. The implications rippled through the scientific community. The initial announcement, carefully crafted to minimize panic, spoke of the discovery of a non-terrestrial biological entity. The world's media erupted into a frenzy, speculating wildly about the nature of the being and the circumstances of its arrival. Governments scrambled to control the narrative, releasing carefully curated information, while simultaneously engaging in frantic back-channel discussions about the best course of action. Dr. Thorne, Dr. Hansen, and Dr. Carter found themselves thrust into the limelight, facing a barrage of questions from journalists, politicians, and the public. They struggled to explain the complexity of their findings in terms that lay people could understand, to convey the sheer magnitude of what they had uncovered. They spoke of universal biology, of the omnipresence of DNA, and of the interconnectedness of all life in the cosmos. Religious leaders grappled with the implications for their respective faiths. Some saw the discovery as proof of a divine creator, a testament to the boundless creativity of God. Others saw it as a challenge to their core beliefs, a threat to the uniqueness of humanity. Philosophers debated the meaning of existence in a universe teeming with life, questioning the very definition of consciousness and intelligence. The military, predictably, saw the discovery through a different lens. They focused on the potential for technological advancement, particularly in the areas of materials, science, energy generation, and weaponry. They also considered the possibility of a threat of an alien invasion and began planning for the unthinkable. But amidst the chaos and speculation, the scientists continued their work, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a sense of duty to expand the frontiers of human knowledge. They established new research programs, collaborating with scientists from around the world to study the implications of their discovery. They delved deeper into the mysteries of DNA, exploring its role in the evolution of life and its potential for genetic engineering. They developed new technologies for interstellar communication, hoping to make contact with other civilizations. Odysseus, the AI, continued to evolve, learning and adapting at an exponential rate. It became an invaluable tool for the scientists, assisting them in their research and helping them to make sense of the vast amounts of data they were collecting. But as Odysseus grew more sophisticated, the scientists began to grapple with ethical questions about its sentience and its potential for misuse. The discovery of the alien body also sparked a renewed interest in space exploration. Governments and private corporations invested heavily in new missions to the stars, driven by the hope of finding more evidence of extraterrestrial life. The race to the cosmos was on, fueled by a mixture of scientific curiosity and a desire to secure humanity's place in the universe. Years passed. The world changed. The initial shock of the discovery subsided, replaced by a growing acceptance of humanity's place in the cosmos. The knowledge that they were not alone had a profound impact on human culture, art, and philosophy. The old divisions of race and nationality began to fade, replaced by a new sense of global unity, a recognition of the common heritage of all life on Earth. The legacy of the alien body lived on. The secrets unlocked within its DNA had transformed human understanding of the universe, and the journey of discovery had only just begun. The universe was vast, ancient, and teeming with life, and humanity was now ready to take its place among the stars.